Hit the intro.
Welcome to Lindemann Outdoors. Join Buckshot and Iceman Lindemann as they celebrate God's beautiful creation through fishing, hunting, and outdoor adventures. It's time to fill the freezer and enjoy the great outdoors the way it was meant to be. We're back. The boys are back in action.
What is up, everybody? How you been, Jacob?
I've been good. You can see I'm repping my UND merch. Going to the hockey game tonight. As we're recording this.
repping the state of South Dakota and Cabela's, who, I don't know why they won't sign me to their team.
Did you know in Grand Porch here, it's no longer Cabela's? It's a Bass Pro.
It's Bass Pro. Yeah, I saw that.
They don't have a Cabela's anymore.
No, they got bought out.
It's a Bass Pro shop.
Sad Bass Pro. Bass Pro is pretty good, too.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
Well, they are now.
Boats now.
Yeah, they got some of those little tracker boats. Some of those would be nice on some small lakes. I could be sponsored by Tracker Boats. I wouldn't turn them down.
Tracker, hit us up.
Yeah, you got. We'll put some fish in those things for you. I
don't know what we're doing today. You got all the plans, Iceman.
I got plans. It's going to be a little bit all over the place, but you know what? That seems to be, where our podcasts are the best is when it's just crazy talk.
We're going to have to change the description of our podcast.
Yeah,
we guys who have a podcast who also hunt and fish and sometimes talk about it.
Exactly. Kind of what it is. Like, we could talk about hunting, we could talk about fishing, we could talk about, is the Kool-Aid Man real? I mean, you don't know.
Is Shrek 2 the best movie of the Shrek franchise?
Right. Yes. We cover everything. We're here to entertain you. We're here to, if we can drop a little knowledge on you, great. If not, if we make you have a better day than you're having, well, then you know what? That's what we're all about. So we're here to help people, help bring some sunshine into your lives that on those days that just suck, you can listen to these two idiots and be like, damn, I'm glad I'm not them. And you'll feel better about yourself.
I'm glad I'm smarter than these two dummies.
Yeah, jeez. These two got two brain cells and they share them. And then they fight with each other, which pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's all right. But you know what? It's about getting out there and making memories, having fun, doing stuff. We've been, I went fishing last weekend. Colder than heck out there. Jeez, it's been cold.
Well, as you're listening to this, it'll be warm.
That's true.
It'll be the sun, so we can pretend it's warm. We can pretend it's...
Oh, it's nice out.
It's so nice, beautiful, 30, 40, 50 degrees.
Yeah. So last week, think back to how cold it was and how we were freezing. And I was out there trying to fish in that. Boy, the fish were sluggish. They did not, even the pike didn't want to bite. I had two pike come in. I literally had a stare down on the live scope of my lure of two pike. They're both looking at it, and neither one of them bit it. And I'm like, what is going on here?
It's too cold.
It's too cold. Even I saw Jason Mitchell posted that he was struggling yesterday in the cold. But now we got a warm front on the way, and by the time most of you hear this, it'll be here. Going out fishing again this weekend. I think it should be fantastic. It's going to be warm. I think the fish are going to start biting. It's that time of year, March, coming into March. March is my favorite time to ice fish. It is. I think the fishing is the best. The fish bite the best. It's really a lot of people ask when's the best time to go. I mean, we get people that wanted to come up all the time ice fishing with us or come down or wherever we're at now. I'd always be like, well, either right away, first ice or last ice is always best.
Yep.
So excited about that. Hoping the fishing turns on a little bit. We're heading to Winnipeg here in a couple weeks.
Really excited for that.
The podcast that just dropped with you and Michael's there.
Yep.
That was awesome. Listen to
good.
that. I'm going to drive home yesterday. That was a good one. Good, just kind of overall talking about fishing. I wanted to clear up something. I heard you say that they did change the laws in Canada now, so anything over 21 and a half has to go back. You can't even keep it anymore.
Oh, really? There's no more 1 over 22?
Yeah. Okay. It used to be 1 over 22. We kind of used as a rule because, you're trying to convert centimeters to inches.
Yeah, we always just round
Yeah.
so we're in the clear.
Yep. Just make sure we're good. So,
Okay.
So yeah, basically everything, you have to look exactly to the conversion, but it's everything at 22 and under you can keep. And then anything bigger has to go back. So,
Okay.
so when you catch that 30-incher, you got to get a replica made. Make sure you measure the length and the girth. Take a bunch of
Get photos,
pictures.
all the sides.
Yep, all the angles. And go get yourself a replica made. The fiberglass replicas that they make now look even better than the real thing, and they last forever. So,
Yep.
get yourself and most taxidermists know a guy, if they don't do it themselves, that can do that for you. So, yeah. So make sure you go out and do that. It's also in the spring of the year, you'll catch a lot of females that are full of eggs. It's a good idea to put those fish back. Try to keep the males for your frying pan. Practice a little conservation out there, so we got some more walleyes for tomorrow.
Yep.
So, but it is you guys talked a little bit about panfish. That's another thing I love too in the spring is the pan fishing turns on, and you can go get crappies and bluegills and perch, and just fun time of year. I did buy some. I heard you talking about me and my secret lures. Also,
Yeah, you do. It's
I did.
terrible.
Yeah, I bought some new secret lures
Buy
actually.
some more.
Yeah, I
I
have.
was telling him about your pegboard, and you got all your.
Yeah, speaking of Cabela's, I'm like, they got nothing on me. I got everything. I got a problem, is what I got. I have a lure addiction.
You got a lure addiction. You got a broadhead addiction.
There's a lot of research and development that goes into what we do. And it's like yesterday when I was buying lures, I'm like, I could just get one of these, but then I'm like, what if that lure's hot and then I don't have another one?
What if you lose that one?
What if you lose that one? So I bought 2 of each color of these. They're pretty awesome. I don't know if I'm going to tell you what they are or show you.
Okay,
I think I'm gonna hide them for the right moment, and then when the moment arises, I will bring them out of my bag, if you will.
I see how it is.
Yeah. And then we will begin negotiations, if I'm really killing them on them, of whether you get the other one or not. So make sure you be thinking about what you'll be willing to give me.
Oh, I've been collecting a few here and there, just if I see one catches my eye. Have you seen what they're doing now at like the Bass Pro Shops with the big fish tanks? They'll just bring the lures up to the glass, and if a bunch of fish come, they're like, "Yep, that one's good."
Oh, how did I not think of this? Oh my God, I'm an idiot.
Yep, because they got every species. They usually got like some walleyes. They got some bass.
Hold it up there.
They got ones
What do you
that full of
think?
bluegills and crappies, and they hold it up to the glass and they shake it a little bit, and the bass just like
that is that is genius.
So don't trust the employees, trust the experts.
Yep, that's a fact. Now, first of all, I was mad at myself for not inventing the redneck hunting blind. Like, how the heck
potty with windows.
Yeah, how did I not think about taking a porta potty, cutting some holes in it, and shooting out of it? I mean, Jesus, am I not redneck enough for this? How did I not think of this? All them years of freezing out there, I didn't thought, geez, I didn't think one time, maybe I should go, get one of those porta potties from them construction sites, and I could sit in there and be warm. Heck, it's got a seat in there, even.
It's got a seat built in.
It's got a seat built in. If you got to go to the bathroom, not a problem.
Drop trow and let her rip.
Just let her rip. Put a little window out front to shoot the rifle out of. Heck, sometimes they got shelves in there, little hand sanitizer. I mean, good God, how did I not think of this? I mean, they sell them things by the truckload. Good for them. Good for them. I just wish I was a little smarter, is all. But, so same thing, how did I not think of this? Of all the lures I've bought out of there to, walk them up to the fish tank and be like, what do you think of this one?
You like this one? Yeah. You like this one?
You like this one? How about this one? It's hard being stupid some days. Oh well. Oh well, it's you know, like Red Green used to say, if they don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.
We'll have to cut here because my computer is dying, so I'm gonna run and get the charger before we lose the stream. So you can entertain them while I'm gone. I'll be quick.
Really? You're just gonna leave me here all by myself while you're running away? Entertainment. This is the trouble for the people that are on the audio. Jacob just left me. For those of you listening in your car, and I'm here left to entertain while he tries to get a cord. But anyway, like I was saying, we should have. I can't believe we didn't invent this stuff. We've been looking at different fishing lures. A lot of people will say that fishing lures are meant to catch fishermen, sometimes not fish, and there's some truth to that. My grandpa used to say that all the time. You can catch a lot of fish on just a plain old lure. Oh, it sounds like Jacob's coming back. I hear rustling around in the background. He's got some soundproofing going on behind him there. You get those of you watching on video. There's a sound panel. It's got one of those foam tiles stuffed up in the window. We do what we got to do here. Redneck engineering, as I call it.
I'm back.
He's back. For those of you riding along in your car that have no idea what's going on video.
Just sprinting down the station.
So I've, per your recommendation I've started my new fitness regiment where I have a Fairlife protein shake for dinner and a banana. Trying to cut some calories. I got to get in shape for turkey hunting. I do have, I have 3 tags so far.
Yeah, I'm out of shape.
Actually, see, that's why I'm doing this. Actually, I got 4 tags so far. I have my Minnesota turkey tag, I have South Dakota archery tag, and I have West River. I have 2 tags for prairie turkey season.
Yeah, I'm just, you can tell, oh wow. I'm getting over influenza, so I'm really out of shape. Not just because I'm fat, because I'm sick and fat.
PHAT, fat.
Yeah, you used to tell me thick with a Q back in the day. My squats were undeniable.
Yeah. PHAT. Is that how you spell fat? That stands for pretty hot and tempting. Said no one to me ever. But anyway.
Oh, boy.
They used to call me thick as well. They still do. Mostly thick-headed, but anyway.
One thing we should mention that we can go off topic really quickly.
We don't have a topic, so that's easy to do.
We can go off what we were just talking about. Being sick. I don't know if this is, I don't even know if we can say this. I might cut this out of the video and the audio if I need be. But as a kid, this is redneck as it gets. When I had a cold, when I had some junk in my throat.
You want me to talk about this?
Yeah, you tell them what you had me do as a kid growing up.
Well, which time? Like, are we talking about how, like, oh, you would be like, oh, I'm sick, I need to stay home from school. I'm like, no, you're not. And I would take you and get you a Gatorade and be like, here, drink this, you're fine, and then send you to school.
Well, that's different. This is this was like more like.
Are you talking popcorn?
High school. No, before basketball game, I had a cold the day before. You're like, no, you gotta score points. You gotta get rebounds tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You would have me gargle Fireball. I would never swallow it. No underage drinking.
I did not inhale.
But they would make me take a shot and gargle it for as long as I could and then spit it out in the sink.
It kills germs.
Or what they would do is they'd take another shot of brandy, heat it up in the microwave till it starts steaming, and then put a towel over my head, and I would sit
hot
there,
brandy. That's
and I would just inhale the brandy fumes.
It kills the germ. The alcohol kills the germs in your nasal passages.
And I'm not gonna say it didn't work, and I was fine the next day, but geez,
it is time proven. I mean, you get sick, you go get a hot brandy. Heck, you can go to the bar; they'll make them for you there. Take a hot brandy. They put some honey in there, a little lemon.
Yep, you put a little honey in there.
Yeah, it'll cure you right now. It's way better than half of the stuff they sell in the store that doesn't
And
work.
NyQuil. Well, there is one cough medicine, cold medicine, flu medicine, aches and pains medicine. Well,
We're going to Buckley's. We are going back to Winnipeg. Jacob was sicker than a dog on one Winnipeg trip,
oh, I
and
was dead.
we went to the store, and they're like, "Well, this stuff tastes like crap, but it works really good." They didn't say crap, but I'm trying to be, PC here for our radio show.
And this
And
stuff is made out of pine tar?
it's got stuff that's banned in the United States in it.
Yeah. You take a
It's,
teaspoon, you take 1 teaspoon every 4 hours, and it's not recommended to take more than 4 teaspoons in 24 hours, or it will cause severe to fatal liver damage.
Yeah, it's tough on you, but
You
it
take
cures
one
you.
teaspoon.
Well, you got actually. It says you take 1 teaspoon, and then if you're not cured, take another one, and then Buckley's will beat the COVID. It'll beat the regular vid. It'll beat it all.
It's got a list on the side of the bottle of everything it treats, and the bottle's this big. The list is this big.
Yeah, it treats
Everything.
everything you can think of.
And it just knocks you out.
Aches, pains, common colds, flus, allergies, syphilis.
Buckley should sponsor this podcast.
They should. We need some sponsors, some advertisers.
And the bottles last forever because you only take a teaspoon and you're done. You're good. It knocks you out. There's a full body reset. Turns the power off. Waits 3 seconds.
Finds the main breaker, hits the switch. Boom. Down you go.
Waits a while. Puts it back on. You can breathe. Your breath is minty, pine tar fresh.
Yep.
It tastes terrible. It's the worst tasting medicine I've ever had in my life, but
It's
it
like
works.
eating a jar of Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah, it tastes like the smell of Vicks. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
It's pretty rough.
And no one believes you that this stuff works. And I've given to one of my college friends, and they woke up the next day, healed.
Cured. Yeah, your one college buddy, it probably cured half of the diseases that he had. We won't say how he got them, but he knows who he is, and he knows what I'm talking about.
You should know. We're not going to say any names here, but they're coming to my wedding, and he asked if he could bring a guest, and I said yes, but just maybe prepare them to know that you will be harassed by my father a lot. Yeah, I already prepped her.
It's not harassment if it's it's more of questioning about I'll behave, I promise. I'm gonna be too busy that day.
Well, I don't know what you were talking about. You've had a busy week of travel.
I've been all over the place. I went out to the Capitol. I was out there for some legislative hearings. Sat in on some Senate committees, some House committees. There was some game and fish stuff I sat in on. It's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about with this podcast was that, as sportsmen and women and average everyday Joes, I think a lot of us have gotten complacent and just sitting back and not realizing that there's people out there that are trying to take away our hunting and fishing rights and our heritage. And to them, they just believe that you shouldn't kill an animal or a fish, but it's, and that's fine. You can believe that way. And it's, you're right as an American to think that way, but, and if you don't want to eat meat, that's fine. That's your choice. But
Grow a garden.
right. These people that, want to make rules for me and then they're hypocrites and they go have a steak dinner. It's like, well, someone had to kill your cow.
Yeah.
Just because it wasn't you doesn't mean an animal didn't die and you don't think you're innocent of that. Actually, I think hunters and fishermen, we have a even deeper connection and love for the animals that we hunt and fish and eat, and we want to take care of them. We want to preserve them. We want to protect nature and the environment and all that stuff, even more than I think they realize that we do. I'd say even more than they do. But I can tell you one thing after sitting in on these legislative meetings, that if you think there's not people out there that are trying to pass laws against what you like to do, take away some of your hunting and fishing rights, they certainly are. We need to be involved. We need to be, not as average people. We don't sit there and pull up on the internet of what legislative laws are going through Congress or our government. And right now, government's in session, and all of us should be looking at. You have to go online and you have to find these lists of bills that are being produced or introduced, not produced. Sorry. You have to look and see what they are, and you have to see, geez, how is this going to affect us? And then you need to call your legislator and let them know that your representative or your senator, and say, hey, I'm not in favor of this, and let them know why. Because if we don't, I deal with a lot of this because I work in the electrical industry. I deal with a lot of this in that side of the realm where people are trying to make laws that don't make any sense, and things that will end up costing our members more money. So that's where I'm involved in that. But also as a avid outdoorsman, I pay attention to that side of the coin too. And and it's important to, believe it or not, your legislators, they look at those emails, or they have staff people that read those emails. And if they're getting a bunch of email or a bunch of phone calls about a certain topic or a certain bill, they'll listen, and a lot of them will listen, and they will, they'll fight against it for you. But they're there for the people. They're supposed to be there for the people. We need to hold them accountable. But I can tell you what, the other side is very organized, and they've figured out. They've put people in government. They've put people in place. They have lobbyists. They know the route. And I don't want to say this is a right or a left thing because, it's really not. But the people who would lean more towards the activist side of things have figured out the way to get things done is through changing the laws. So as a lot of us sit back and, we just kind of go about our lives, they are very organized. They are in government seats. They are in representatives' ears, and they're letting them know that, hey, we want to change this law because, whether they don't like it or they don't believe in it or whatever. So it's, and it comes down to everything, to sales tax, to how you get your how you get your food, your groceries, your way of life. It's all through the government, and we have, or the laws that rule over the land are through the government, I should say. How you conduct your business. I mean, if we're not paying attention to that, they could say that, hey, you could get a group rise up and say, well, we don't like podcasts. We want to outlaw those. And they'll put a bill in and they'll try to run that through. Well, if we're not paying attention and we don't stand up and say, hey, no, we need podcasts because, we're here to entertain people. We're here to give people information. It's adding to people's quality of life. If we never said anything, that bill could get passed, and then boom, it's all of a sudden against the law to do what we're doing. Same thing goes for hunting and fishing.
I think mostly with hunting and fishing, it just kind of comes down to I think when people are anti-hunting, anti-fishing and stuff, I feel like they've never experienced it, and they've only seen the bad publicity that Hollywood, time and time again, gives the dumb, drunk hillbilly with a shotgun shooting everything that moves.
Yeah, the image of hunters in Hollywood is terrible. They don't ever show what a real hunter. They are good people. They are good members of their community. They take care of their family. They take care of themselves. They take care of their patriots. They take care of the country. Now, I'm not saying that there's not bad apples out there, but
there's bad apples in every category. No matter where you go, there's going to be someone that's so crazy that they're doing it for the rest of us.
Right, 99% of the people are good people, and they're, it's just a shame because, we're in this country to, have freedoms to be able to live the way we want to live. I mean, that's why we had to go through everything that we had to go through to get to this point. several wars. We could be ruled under, in England, I don't think you can hunt there. It's king's land, and you're not allowed to hunt unless it's at some preserve somewhere. The story of Robin Hood was not about, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. It was all about shooting the king's deer to feed the poor because that was against the law. But people were starving and they were dying, and this guy's like, well, I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to go fix this.
Yep.
I mean, that's, where the story of Robin Hood comes from. It was about hunting.
It goes back to the Bible. One of my favorite verses, Genesis 27:3. Grab your bow and your quiver, go out into the wild and hunt game for me. It's God literally saying, and it goes more in depth than how that it's man's job, humans, man.
Yeah.
Not just men.
Have dominion over the animals.
Defend, take care of the animals, take care of the land. We're supposed to go out and control it.
Yep. We're supposed to
control it correctly, conserve it.
Yep. Protect it, manage it.
A lot of hunters, and we're big into food plots. Well, food plots aren't just for that one big buck on your wall. That's providing your entire herd, turkeys, deer, squirrels. Biodiversity is very important to the health of all animals. And I can come at this from a science standpoint. I was a science major. That, if the overall health and diversity of a certain area is through the roof, then everything is just thriving. Deer are going to thrive. The birds are going to thrive. The raccoons are going to thrive. And everything has a balance. And everything can't be too much, can't be too little.
Yep.
It's just like, Diet Cokes are better for you than Cokes. But if you have too many Diet Cokes, you're going to have what I say, Coke gut rot. Which I loved. I drink Diet Coke every day, but I've had days where...
Hey, Coca-Cola, hit us up. We'll be your sponsor.
We love Coke.
I love Diet Coke. Don't listen to Jacob.
Well, I'm just saying, you can, too much carrots, you're going to turn your poop orange.
Whoa, geez, we're going to have to cut that part out.
Well, I'm just saying, it's all about
that's a bad thing.
Well, if you want to have orange poop, that's your thing.
Right.
That's what you do that. What's up, Doc?
That's a fact.
So, but it's back to what I was saying, it's all about balance. And
it isn't just that too. It's people got to come to the reality of what the world is. It's not this fairy tale in their mind where, food just comes from out of the air magically. I mean, it doesn't work that way.
I mean, even farming, if people understood how you get a cheeseburger, we're doing a lot friendlier option.
Well, for sure. And I'm not trying to make this a hunters versus anti-hunters, but the thing is, what I'm trying to tell people is that you need to be paying attention to what your government's doing. You need to be involved. You can't just sit back and then complain about the rules that get passed down when you could have maybe stepped in and helped get some of these bills killed before they make it into law. It's what I was trying to get into.
Oh, yeah. You stand for what you believe in. If you want to keep doing something, protect it.
Right. And it's not just, that too. It's just also the, someone, okay, well, they may not like that I go out and shoot deer with my bow, because they may not understand it or whatever, or they don't like hunting, or they don't understand. But hunting with a bow, to me, is you're closer to the game. You have to be closer to the game. It's a much more spiritual activity, and it's more rewarding, and it's the way I prefer to get my meat. I'm sorry that I'm a meat eater. I can't help it. That's what I was. I need protein to survive. I'm an animal just like everybody else, I guess, but we're mammals, of course, but at the end of the day, we're omnivores. We need meat. Yes, you can get your protein through other sources, but I'd even argue then that you're not really truly healthy unless you're getting protein. Those people, all the vegetarians, they seem to get sick if they're not getting protein from somewhere. They have to substitute it from, some other form.
And I was a health coach for a year, and I have that certificate license and stuff, so I can say a little bit on this. But the best food you can eat are meat So red meat, white meat, whatever you want to do. Meat, fish, vegetables, fruit, and like very basic grains.
Yeah.
Anything processed is not good for you. It's just not.
No. And if it wasn't here 200 years ago, you shouldn't be eating it.
Yeah. Meat,
I
fish, fruits, vegetables,
and like I
very
said,
low processed
you know,
grains.
I don't eat perfectly, but I can honestly say my favorite things to eat are meat and vegetables and fruits.
We've been doing a lot of stir fries at our house.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love a stir fry. We did a chicken stir fry. We had
Yeah.
carrots, onions, broccoli, peppers, rice, and a ton of chicken in there.
Yeah. I, and I try to, and I'm not perfect either. I mean, every once in a while I get a bad week where I slip off the old diet wagon and I go, oh, too many meetings with too many donuts and I have the body type that you can tell that, oh, he looks like he works out, but he also doesn't pass up a cookie. So,
Oh, a case of double stuffed Oreos on a
yeah,
rough week
yeah,
going down.
sweetness. But, you know, I'm not going to Congress trying to pass a bill that Oreos should be outlawed because they're bad for you. That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
If you don't want to eat them, don't eat them. If you don't
yeah.
want to hunt, don't hunt. If you don't want to fish, don't fish. But don't be trying to change the laws for the rest of us. But at the same time, my whole point to that rant was we need to be aware that there's people out there trying to change things for all of us, and we need to be paying attention to them. They've gotten by here the past. I think that's kind of where we got in trouble here is that a lot of us normal, decent people weren't paying attention, and now it's kind of gone off the deep end a little bit. Everyone's all mad at Elon because he's out there trying to dig up some of this corruption, and unfortunately, he's finding some. So it's like, well, if the numbers aren't going to lie, if there's money where it's not supposed to be, that's a bad deal, and we should have been paying attention to that and
Yeah.
holding these people accountable.
Did you know they were spending a couple $1 million on rubber duckies? Scientific study on rubber duckies
Well, it
on
wasn't.
the implications of mental health for
Speaking
what a
of
rubber
rubber
ducky
duckies,
does to
hey,
improve your bath time.
speaking of rubbers duckies, I think they send. Then they have like I forget how many millions to Guatemala for condoms. So I mean, it's a fact. You can
Yeah,
Google
where
that.
didn't they airdrop them in?
I don't know what they did. I don't want to know. I don't
There's
know why
one.
they
There
had.
was one that was untying the study of untying a pretzel.
Oh, there was like a $2 million for the High Five Society and some. I mean, good
I
for
would
these
love.
people that were able to sign up for these phony baloney grants and get a bunch of money to do nothing off the rest of us. But that's what I'm talking about. And we shouldn't say any more about this because I don't have the facts in front of me. We'd have to
Yeah.
Google this list of stuff, and then we'd have to fact check it and all that. But the point is,
Give all the money that you find, put that in the school system.
how about well, sure that, and how about we don't have to pay taxes for a year or two?
That'd be nice. That'd be really nice too.
But
There's a lot of better things you could do with your money. That's all I'm gonna say. And Elon, you're doing a good job. I may be a V8 gasoline promoter, but you're
yeah, just because we don't, I like electric cars.
yes, they're cool.
Well,
Don't get me wrong, they're awesome. They're probably
they're
the future.
awesome.
They definitely are the future. But
Yeah.
I'm just an old muscle car guy, even though I
Well,
don't have one, but I want one.
and they don't make an electric truck that'll pull the boat yet.
Yeah, they're close.
Nah, your mileage goes, or I shouldn't say your mileage, your range goes way down.
Yeah. Once they figure out batteries, it'll
That's what they need. The next advancement needs to come in batteries. They need to get those vehicles so they have 500-mile range like everybody's used to. They need to get the charging time so it's faster. I mean, it's pretty fast now, but they need to get those batteries figured out, and then also they need to make it so when it's cold that you don't lose half your range, and then the same thing when you're towing. Like if you have 300 miles of range and you're towing, you probably only have 120.
yeah. I mean,
That's not enough for the remote part of the Midwest that we live in.
if you're down south and you live in the city, I don't know why you don't have one if you're
Oh,
wasting on
I
gas
don't
money.
either. If you're just commuting into work and back,
And you
you
live in
know,
the below the whatever that line
yep,
is. I think it's like 30 degrees, 60 degrees longitude or something like
yeah,
that. It's like
where it's below the ice belt,
yeah, and below
where
that's
we'll
where yeah.
where we'll never live because we need to ice fish. So, but you get south of Iowa and Nebraska there. I mean, you
Yeah,
can
get
run
into
an electric
Kansas,
car all the
Texas.
time. I mean, but it's the same thing there. There's some very rural areas on the rest of the country too that you need charging stations, you need infrastructure. As a power company, we don't have enough power for all those, and we're going to need to build power plants. One of the things that we've been talking about there is that we need to get nuclear power back because it's safe and you can get a ton of power out of it.
People
But
are really afraid of that, but
they're
it's
very
so
afraid of it.
advanced now that
It
like
and
and they
the percentage of even like the mishaps that have gone wrong are so small compared to how much is out there, and most of those mistakes were man-made
yeah.
that made things go wrong there.
And I saw now that they can like where they will build these things, they can build them like so far underground that if it were to happen, there'd be like a 1 mile circle around it, which was just the factory itself. That
Yeah,
would be like they
it,
can do so much
it
stuff that
yeah, and it won't even ever get to that now. They're
yeah.
so safe and they have all this figured out. They can recycle the waste. There's no issue there. It's all political. It's ridiculous. Every one of the armies, submarines, the navies, submarines, battleships. They've been running nuclear powered ships and subs and aircraft carriers for forever. Since obviously since the '60s. So they, after World War II. So it's a lot of there's a lot of nuclear power powering the other nations. There's no carbon that comes out of it. Not I don't believe carbon is bad, but there's people that do. So okay, fine. If you think carbon's bad, then let's do nuclear.
The whole
I
carbon thing, I think a lot of people forget about
that plants need
that
carbon
plants breathe
dioxide
carbon dioxide.
to make oxygen, and actually we're a little short on carbon compared to where we need to be. But that's a whole nother podcast.
Well,
Jordan Peterson and Canadian scientists do that podcast way better than us two meatheads will. So I
but
tell,
I did a study on this for one of my classes. And Iowa, the state of Iowa, in July, when the corn is going crazy, produces more oxygen
then it's good for you,
than most of the European countries in 1 month.
right? That's a fact.
It just goes, it goes through the roof. It's only for a
Yeah,
month. It's a very short amount of time because like
and
it just goes crazy.
we
But
need
like it's
oxygen to breathe.
insane. It's insane the
Else,
oxygen production. They showed a
carbon
map of it, and
dioxide is
it's like
essential for all life.
it explodes. But we're not scientists.
No, and we're trying to not get too political. Other than hey, people pay attention.
Just
Make sure you're join your local walleye club, join your local bow hunters association, join the NRA.
NWTF.
Yeah, join
Turkeys.
join all these. Even the whitetail deer. You know, people.
Was it the Whitetail Unlimited, Ducks Unlimited, or whatever
Yeah,
those are?
all those people. Rough
A
Grouse
million
Society,
things.
the Pheasants Forever. These organizations are looking out for you. They're going to protect your way of life. I think it's the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association was I was thinking of, but every
Yep.
state has their own association. Join them, support them. You know, we have to be involved politically, whether you like it or not, because otherwise, you may end up with rule changes that you don't want to see. So there you go, stepping off my soapbox. I'm gonna go out and hunt and fish and enjoy the great outdoors. Make some memories out there. It's all we have. You're gonna run out of time before you run out of money. So, and you only get so many sunrises.
Get into hunting and fishing. Waste all your money in a good way.
Well, that's a fact.
Also,
It's the
shout out
best.
UND. Go Sioux.
You're going to the hockey game tonight?
I'm repped out.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, the U.S. lost to Canada last night in the
Did
World.
they? I didn't
Yes.
see it last night.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
unfortunate.
I guess the Canadians can be good at one thing.
No, they cannot. I was disappointed that the U.S. did not come back to.
Did they start fighting again in the first 3 seconds?
They did not. It was a little bit.
More about hockey.
Yep. It was when after the second period, it was 2-2. Yeah, as soon as you type in U.S., it comes up USA versus Canada. Canada. No.
It's a shame. Well, UND's playing Duluth tonight, so anyone in the college hockey world, I'm not much into it, but they're fun games. They're big rivals, so that'll be a fun game.
They won in overtime, 3-2.
Jeez. Well,
I think next year I hope that they said this game and it was bigger than the Stanley Cup. It ended up being huge. I'm not a big hockey guy myself, but I watched 3 of the games. They were awesome.
yep.
I'm hoping that they expand on this. I think there's something there. I know this was kind of getting fired up for the Olympics, and I think that the USA is, they're probably going to be. I think our team will be a little more stacked the next time.
Yeah. Had some young guys out there. I want to get some goons, some Doug Floyds out there.
Well, them Tkachuk brothers are pretty good going. Are pretty good goons.
I saw a
Who'd you say?
thing that it
Doug
was
who?
Doug. What's his last name?
Doug Glott from the movie.
What did I say? I think I said Floyd. Ooh, but
Floyd.
I don't know. That was Doug Glatt. Doug Glatt.
Yes, Doug Glatt.
69 for what was this team? The Highlanders.
Yes. The Halifax.
Go Halifax Highlanders. Go watch Goon if you've never seen Goon.
The greatest hockey movie of all time is Goon.
I mean, people say Miracle,
No.
Mighty Duck. No, it's Goon.
Goon is the greatest hockey movie of all time.
There's nothing better. It's so good. I'm gonna go watch this.
Okay, now this is not a family-friendly movie.
No, don't watch it with your mom.
I would say don't watch it with your mom.
Watch it with your dad, your brother, college roommate. That's about it.
Yeah, well, I would say definitely for mature viewers.
It's rated R, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, it is.
But it's a great plot. It's a great story. It's an underdog story.
Should have won an Oscar, really.
It should have.
I don't know why I didn't win an Oscar.
The guy who plays Doug Glott is Steven Tyler, I think, who was Steve Tyler?
Wasn't he Stickler?
Yeah, he was Stickler in American Pie. Or Stifler, not Stickler.
I don't know these names.
The wrong name.
I'm dyslexic.
Stifler. If you haven't watched all the American Pies, you should go watch those as well. Definitely rated R movies, but they're pretty solid as well. Good movication stuff there.
Good movication. Maybe next time we'll have a movication podcast.
We could do that.
The must-see movies to be a productive member of society.
That's a fact. Yep. And then also, if you go watch Talladega Nights, you go watch Goon, some of the American Pies.
Stuff. I'm hitting the outro. You're wasting good potential stuff here, man. We're hitting the outro. We're done. We'll get off our soapboxes. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. God bless.